problem number 14 of the 2012 AP Calculus exam. If f of x is equal to the square root of x squared minus 4, and g of x is equal to 3x minus 2, then the derivative of f of g of x at x equals 3 is what value? So let's begin with our function. F of x equals the square root of x squared minus 4. G of x is equal to 3x minus 2. F of g of x will be the square root, and we're going to substitute in the 3x minus 2 for the x. So we'll get 3x minus 2 squared minus 4. And we can simplify. And if we square 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2, we'll get 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. And then bring down the negative 4. Let's simplify. We'll have the 4's canceling with the negative 4. The 4 and the negative 4 cancels, which will leave us the 9x squared minus 12x. Well, we'd like to write that with a fractional exponent. So we'll have 9x squared minus 12x to the 1/2. And the reason we want to do that is that when we take the derivative, that will be much easier. So here we go. If we take the derivative of f of g of x, then I'll use the chain rule and multiply by that exponent, which will give me a 1/2 up front. And I'll have the 9x squared minus 12x inside. And then I'll subtract 1 from the exponent, so that'll give us a negative 1/2. And we multiply times the derivative of the inside. And the derivative of 9x squared is 18x. And the derivative of negative 12x is negative 12. I'm then going to take that term that has the fractional exponent to the denominator, making it a positive fraction, fractional exponent, which gives me 1 over 2. And that 9x squared minus 12x will become a positive 1/2 as far as its exponent. I still have in the top, or in the numerator, 18x minus 12. Next, let's go ahead and change that 1/2, the fractional exponent, back to a square root. And so we'll have 1 times 18x minus 12 over 2 times the square root of 9x squared minus 12x. And now we can substitute in, because we were asked to find the first derivative at x equals 3. So we're going to substitute in the value of 3. So the first derivative, f of g of 3, will equal, and 1 times the term at the top is that term, so I'll have 18 times 3 minus 12. And in the denominator, I'll have 2, and the square root of 9 times 3 squared minus 12 times 3, which will give me 54 minus 12 over 2 times the square root of 81 minus 36. And that will give me 42 in the numerator, 2 in the square root of 45 in the denominator. And I notice 2 can go into 42, so that'll be 21. And the square root of 45 can reduce to 9 and 5, and the square root of 9 is 3. So this will become 3 square root of 5. And 3 can go into 21. 7 times. So we'll get 7 over the square root of 5. And that's answer choice A.